Hello everyone and welcome to Day Trader S&P 500. Today is Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. This is Dale Woodson, editor of Woodson Wave Report and the YouTube channel Day Trader S&P 500. Let's get you guys caught up. A lot happened today, so we'll get you guys caught up with our newsletter subscribers who get reports. We had, I think, 2 today. We get multiple reports a day, but anyway, let's get on with it. We're going to start with the US 10-year just because it's going to do what we think it's going to do. Okay, let me back this up here. There we go. Okay, and there is that. Let me get the wave 1 high in there. There's a wave 1 high from the year 2020. There's the wave 2 low into April of 23. We've got a 1 up with a circle, a 2 down with a circle, and we've been saying it's going to hit 5.10%. If you remember right here, it just got over 5%, and everybody started running around with their hair on fire on TV, and then it went down. Oh, and the market went down, 5% didn't hold. It's going to hold because you can see right here from this fourth wave low, we've got a 1 up, a 2 down, a 3 up. That was 4 down. It lasted, looks like 2 days. We should hit that target of 5.10% for wave 3, which is a 1.618 multiple of wave 1. So we'll see how that plays out. It might coincide with the third wave down in stocks. We'll see. But I want to get over from there. Let's get to the Qs. It's been a while since we looked at the Qs. Okay, we're looking at a daily chart of the Qs. Okay, let me back that out there. That was a big wave 2 up there, and the Qs topped on 719 at 386. 0.82, we've got a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, which was a 786 retracement. Whenever they're going to take it down, they always take it up pretty high to wipe out the shorts before they take it down. So get all those stops out of the way and then make most of the people lose most of their money most of the time. That's the way it works. Anyway, you can see we had a 1 down and a 2 up in parentheses. Here are the wave 3 targets. Okay, 3 equals 1 at 347.68. There's a 1.272 at 338.65. The 1.414. That is not right. That's 333.93. Let me fix that here. 333.93. Let's go here. My apologies. Little correction here. There we go. Okay, and then the 327.16 is the 1.618. We're going to start going, since we're in third waves down, it looks like 3 degrees of trend, third wave. We'll get into that later. We may start skipping these 1.272s and 1.414s and go 1.618, 2.618, 3.618, because that's what they'll be hitting. And we've done that already in the major indices, ES, excuse me, and the S&P. Speaking of S&P, here is the long-term weekly chart. You can see we've got wave 5 up from at least the 2009 low, possibly further back in time, but at a minimum we can go back to 1974 or 82. But you'll notice the blue alternate bullish count is gone because it was eliminated. Okay, so we've got an A down. That was in October of 22. Okay, and then we've got a B up, 3 waves, which was in July. And then we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can call this A a 1 and this B a 2. So we're looking at a third of third wave. You can see 1, 2, 1, 2 right there. Okay, so we're looking at this 1 and this 2 here. You can see we had that trigger at 42.16 that was activated. That brings these targets into play. Our subscribers are loving these triggers and targets. We're doing them both to the upside and downside. We had that upside trigger, but that was the alternate count, the bullish long-term alternate count, which was eliminated. Okay, you can see our targets here for wave 3. We got 40.77, 38.80, 35.61 is a 2.618, and that lands right. There's a couple multiples right there, but the bigger picture is A down in parentheses, B up, C equals A at 32.79, and we've got a 3.618 target. Like I was saying, we're starting to list at 2.618 and 1.618. I'm sorry, 3.618, and getting rid of those little 1.272s and 414s because we're in bigger wave counts here. Like I said, third of third wave, as this shows at 3 degrees of trend. Okay, that's the weekly in the cash S&P. We go to the daily here. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see if we get from the let's go back to the B wave high on 727. We got a 1 down and a 2 up. Let's move this around so we can see a little better. Then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 in parentheses. We've got a wave 2 up. You can see our triggers and targets. We have upside triggers. You know, if this high was taken out, then it would go to these Fibonacci targets here. We can eliminate those because it didn't, and it hit the downside trigger. Okay, so let's remove that. Let's remove that. There we go, and we don't need that trigger anymore. That is gone. There, and we have the downside trigger, which was 42.16. It was hit and it activated these targets here, and these wave 3 targets. You can see a 1 with a big circle, a 2 with a big circle. Here's the 3, and here's the targets. 41.95, which was attained. I think that low there is 41.81. We've got a 41.56 and a 4100. That's a nice round number, isn't it? We'll see how that plays out. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and here comes 5. So there's where that is in the cash, and that's the wave 2 actual high, I believe, right there at 43.93. That's the daily in the cash. So we'll go to the hourly. Okay, and this is from that 9-1 high. You can see we've got a 1 down, 2 up, 3 down, 4 up for the, and a 5 down for the wave 1 in parentheses. We've got a wave 2 up. All right, and this is breaking down 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see 5 equals 1 at that 41.56. I think we had that over here. Yeah, 41.56. Wouldn't be surprised if that's a nice common multiple there at 2 different degrees of trend. And if we look at the bigger picture, the 1 down with a circle, the 2 up, here are the 3 down with circles. It's 42.69. That already was achieved. Okay, then we've got the 41.95. That was achieved. We've got the 41.56 again. And then the, let me make this bigger. There we go. There we go. That's better. And then we've got the 41.01 for the 1618. If I can bring this down here. There, that's more in line after I enlarge that picture. So from that wave 2 high, we've got a 1 down, a 2 up, a 3 down. Nice triangle here on 4. And that helped us again as long-time subscribers know, and we have 20 plus year subscribers to our newsletter. Been around since early 2000s, started in 1997. Anyway, they know that I learned Elliott Wave by accident or by luck on a 4th wave, because that's the first thing I started charting back in 1996, and I didn't think the market was moving at all in Elliott Waves, and found out it was a 4. So I learned the hardest pattern to recognize first. So again, it's hard to sneak a 4 by me, but if you can identify a 4 like here, then you can work backwards. Okay, if that's 4, then this is 3, and you can find 1 and 2, and obviously get your wave 5 target. Again, we got that 41.56 right there. It's working towards it. Futures did something else. Let me back this out. That's the S&P hourly. I don't look at that 10-minute or not. Yeah, here's from the 1017 wave 2 high, which is back here at 43.93. There it is there. I keep all my internal markings there, but the main thing is you got a 1 down, a 2 up, a 3 down at 41.89, a 4 up. There again, 5 equals 1 at 41.56. There's other targets there. You can see in the red, we've got a 1 down, 2 up, gap to begin wave 3 of 3. Okay, and yes, you won't see that in the futures as much as you do in the cash, but nice gap for 1 of 3. That begins the 3rd wave, kicks it off. Down there, there's a 4. And there's 5. Okay, we're looking at 41.56 in the S&P. Let's get to the E-mini futures. Okay, we're looking at a daily chart. There's that B wave high. I don't know if we can squeeze that A in there, but it's down there. It's way back here. And way back here. Yeah, there we go. Back on 1013. But let's get into what's going on from that. The point is, this is a B. It could be called a 2. It is a 2nd wave. Okay, and then we've got a 1, 2 and a 1, 2. So we're looking at a 3rd in this degree of trend, of a third in this degree of trend, of a third are C wave. So it's 3 of 3 of 3. They're powerful. We'll get into that a little bit later. But you can see from that B wave high, we've got a 1 down, a 2 up, and then another 1 down, a 2 up. There was our trigger, the wave 1 low. That would bring in the lower targets, which here's the 1, 2, here's the 3. I got them over here. I think I had the, I'll show you guys in a pic later. But again, we're doing those 2.618, sometimes 3.618 targets. But we've got a 1 down, a 2 up, again 786 retrace, okay, and then our 3 targets here are 42.82. You can see it hit it already, and we've got a 42.05. I may make the screen bigger. There we go. That lines up a little bit better. There we go. A 41.64, 41.06, and a 38.22. Interesting that the 1.618 for wave 3 is at 41.06, and wave 3 here at this degree of trend gains equality with 1 at 40.99. Those are 2 common targets right near the 4100. Wouldn't be surprised to see that market come down and hit that 4100 level before it finds some support in a 4th wave up. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on that was the daily chart on the ES. Let's get into the hourly. Bring it down. All right, there's that wave 2 high. We've got a 1 down, a 2 up, 3 down, 4 up. Again, there was the trigger, and it hit the target within 3 points, and we've got a 5 down. Here's those targets. We had a 4200. So far it's a 4186. This is live. It's like just after 10 p.m. Eastern, and that low, let me move this over so I can see it a little better. That low is 4182.75. So it even went lower. I'm going to do this for tomorrow's report to my newsletter subscribers. We'll fill that in the morning with a pre-market open report, and that is extending further to the downside. Those who are short or have long puts are happy. Anyway, there's the targets there for wave 5, okay? And this is that Fibonacci time thing, and it went out to 1025. In futures, it's already 1026. It started about 4 hours ago, but again, price and pattern are paramount and number 1, and we'll get into that time later. But you can see our targets there for wave 5 on the hourly chart. And did I make that full screen? There we go. That's a little better. We can see everything there. And there's the 1. There we go. A 41.7550, 41.73 and 3/4, and 41.45. That's the E-mini futures, and that is the hourly chart. Maybe we'll get into the 10-minute too while we're at it. Okay. Again, there's that 4. If you can identify a triangle, and they're pretty easy because they're long and sideways. You know, they might trend a little bit up, a little bit down, depending on the bull or bear market. But if you can find a 4, you can certainly find a 3 before it, and then get the 1 and the 2 and get your wave 5 targets. Speaking of which, there's a wave 4 high. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and that's where it equaled 1 at 4200. And we have further targets to the downside. We can get into those in our report. Remember, we said that gap back here was going to be closed, and it was. And we started this off with a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it in small black print. Then the ABC up, and here we go to the downside. That gap close was huge, and that gap was back in like June. I can't believe a futures gap stayed open that long, but it did. Okay, let's get into the report, the post-market close, which was earlier today for our newsletter subscribers. Let's get in here. Okay, again, there's the turn dates. 1024. Okay, we had the low of wave 3 on 1023, and now we're in 1025, possibly 1026. So this probably will need to be updated, but the next turn date is 1116. That was the Fibonacci time zone, which we haven't showed in a few days, but that's from TradingView, and I've only used that recently. I want to say in the last several weeks or a couple months maybe, okay? But this Fibonacci time spiral, been using over 25 years. It served us well over the decades, okay? By the way, it shows the next turn date as November 16th. All right, let's get into, market is vulnerable, could collapse any day now or it may do so over several days. Here's that wave 5 down we were talking about with the 4200 target. Okay, now we have lower targets. It's kind of a review here. That was the wave 4 up within 3 points of a direct hit of the 382 retrace. Notice that wave 4 didn't even retrace a 382. That's common. I remember the bear markets of 2000 to 2002 and the other one in 2007 to 2009. That was typically the case. The retraces are nothing. It's just SRM, sell rally mode. Okay, it's the rallies are short and the extensions to the downside are huge. So something to be said there. Okay, this was review of the previous report yesterday. Wave 4 up will yield a wave 5 down. Yes, complete the larger wave 3. Not complete. We'll get into that. Wave 5 down to 4200, and it was surpassed. Is the larger wave 3 complete? Not yet. More than likely, not yet. Again, there's the trigger. There's the wave 5 targets. There are the other targets, and again, that was just surpassed as we are recording this. So those targets, lower targets, will come into play. Okay, the 5-wave decline, if it bottomed yesterday, which is today, this was written yesterday, it would be a Fibonacci 13 days long. Wave 4 scored a direct hit. Here's what I wanted to tell you guys, which is important. I'll just read it. We've been saying for months now, it's a bear market. Surprises will be to the downside. Therefore, the move below the 4200, which was the 1.1 relationship, should come as no surprise to anyone. A third of a third of a third wave is a rare event and the strongest and most powerful of all waves. It can take on any Fibonacci multiple it chooses. This is the reason we've been posting 2.618 and 3.618 extensions lately, because they can be hit, especially if it's a third of a third of a third wave. Here is that wave 3 of 3 from that B wave high back in July. We've got a 1 down, a 2 up, again a 786 retrace, and there's the wave 3 targets there. It already hit the 1.0. It already surpassed the 1.272. There's the 1.414. Again, the 1.618 is at 4106, and this third wave, 1 down, 2 up, this third wave is just under, a quarter point under 4100. Wouldn't be surprised if this held support at 4100, but again, surprises will be to the downside, and you can anticipate that this is 1 down, and that was a trigger that brought these targets, and that is 2 up. We get a 3 down. 4 should hold below the wave 1 low, which is 4235. So if 3 bottomed like here or here, there's not a whole lot of room for 4 to go up. Again, it might be less than a 382. Okay, and there we're looking at the wave 3 and the verbiage here. There's the wave 3 targets. You can see them up here and down here listed. Okay, and again, they noted that the 4106 and 4099 is a cluster of 2. If you can call 2 a cluster, okay, remain in sell rally mode. You know, the rallies are short-lived and they're tiny. I mean, compared to this rally, which is a 786, and then we had that 4 that wasn't even a 382. Okay, so let's leave you guys with, there's the ABC. Okay, oh, and this is third of third wave down. So the wave 2 highs at 3 degrees of trend need to hold, and they've been holding. Okay, there's the wave 2 with parentheses, there's the larger wave 2, and there's the larger wave B, which is the second wave in itself. Okay, there's the daily bar. We'll leave you guys with that, and not sure if we'll get another report in before the weekend is over. We'll see how this plays out, and until next time, take care, everyone.